You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is Breaking the Ice back again for the final Thursday night show of the semester. Today, I'm joined by two of my very own Devils guests. Boys, reintroduce yourselves. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Justin Brady. I have an account, Devils Fanatics. If you want to, go check it out.
Hey, what's up? I'm Daniel Amoia. Also have an account, devils.report on the gram. Would appreciate if you guys checked it out.
All right, now, how's everyone's past couple weeks been since the last show?
Do we want to talk about it, Daniel?
I might plead the fifth here. It's been a rough go of it as a Devils fan, to say
You're going
the
to talk
least.
about it in a few minutes, and you know it's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Regardless, we're trying to get the Kraken Canucks game going on here, but we're having some technical difficulties getting on the screen, so I'll address that. But in the meantime, Daniel, give us a little bit of a World Junior spiel.
So, as most of you know, World Junior Championships coming up December 26th. Always starts the day after Christmas, and it's going to be an interesting one because the tournament last year had some COVID troubles. The tournament the year before that was played in a bubble with no fans. Last year they ended up rescheduling it to August, and a lot of the players had to drop out. So you can't really say it was a legitimate tournament, but there's there's an asterisk there, certainly, because a lot of the bigger names like Alexander Holtz, for example, had to drop out of the tournament. So this is really going to be the first legitimate World Junior Championship since 2019. And even that was played in Europe. So it's going to be the first legitimate one in Canada in 4 years because the crowds aren't as big in Europe. But when it's in Canada, it's a huge thing. I mean, they're selling out NHL arenas there. So it's going to certainly be a sight to watch. As for Devils fans, Luke Hughes, captain of Team USA, that is a huge weight on his shoulders.
I get it.
That was
get
good.
it.
That was good.
We get it. I remember you watching World Juniors in Haynes' class last year.
Yeah, that was
when I was an honorary student, back in my prime.
That was a time, but yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a lot of it's the biggest stage that's not the NHL for sure. These sold out arenas. Canada fans specifically are extremely passionate about it, and it's really the only stage in hockey besides the Stanley Cup Finals where you see players showing their true emotion. I mean, I came across a video a couple weeks ago on YouTube of Jack Hughes in tears in his post-game presser after they lost to Finland in 2019, I believe, 2018. It's really it's an emotional thing. It's kind of every player's dream to take home gold in that tournament, and most of the NHLers today have played in it when they were teenagers. So it's going to be very interesting. The Canadian squad is loaded. I mean, Connor Bedard and Shane Wright playing together against other teenagers. I mean, that's...
To translate it in
That's
basketball
not fair.
terms, it's kind of like if LeBron and I want to say Shaq were on the same teteam at some point.
And playing against
Or
teenagers.
it's like how Zion Williamson and Ja Morant were on the same AAU team. That's pretty much how you put that.
Yeah.
It's unreal. We got... on their second line is Dylan Guenther, who played in the NHL this year.
Yep.
You have other countries, you have Germany and I believe Austria and a few like that, where they maybe have one or two who are on the NHL draft radar, period. Most of these guys will probably be out of professional hockey in a few years, and if they stay in it, it's at a very low level overseas. And they're going to be facing, this NHL talent. For reference, 2 years ago, the bubble tournament, Canada beat Germany 14-0. The year before that, I think they scored over 10 goals, and that was a team with Tim Stützle and JJ Peterka on it. If they didn't have them two, it might have been 20-0. Dawson Mercer scored 2 goals, by the way. Got to throw that in there. But yeah, I mean it's not fair. The first year I got into World Juniors, it was the 2017 tournament, 2018, sorry. Canada versus Denmark. That game finished 13-0, I believe. Max Comtois had 4 goals. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting when the powerhouses collide, like Canada and the US, if they do, and that would be in the gold medal game if they did. But there's some serious talent. We got Logan Cooley alongside Luke Hughes, which is going to be phenomenal. That was a big pick by Arizona in the draft. We really have most of the top of this year's past draft who will be playing in this tournament. For Devils fans, Simone Nemec will be on Team Slovakia. It's gonna be very exciting because this is some of the best talent in the world. It is the best talent in the world under 20 years old, and they're all colliding at one of the biggest stages. So it'll be fun.
So just to sum that up in like one word, we got a lot of loaded talent here. But circling back to the National Hockey League itself, we're going to get started. I hate how we use all of our time rolling through the divisions. We're going to speed run this time. We're going to start off with the Pacific Division, as always. All right, boys, so let me get right into it. Vegas still at the top. Solid week they had there. Couple wins, couple losses, but they're not really being challenged just yet. The Kings, however, fantastic week from Los Angeles. They went 3-0. They actually jumped Seattle for the second spot in the entire division. So, good on the Kings. Good on the Kings for finally getting some wins together. They got Edmonton off their backs, and now Seattle has the Oilers on their backs.
Yeah, though I do want to say it's a little misleading to me. The Kings have a -7 goal differential, and yeah, they're 2 points ahead of Seattle in the standings, but Seattle has 4 games in hand.
Yeah, literally, they have 4 more games underneath them.
That's kind of crazy to me that the NHL scheduled it like that, where at this point in the year, there's a difference of 4 whole games. I could see 1 or 2, but if Seattle wins their next few, they'll leapfrog them. So.
They have to just win 1.
Yeah,
they just win
really.
1. And, underneath, Seattle's still in third, but they still had a solid week. Underneath them, the Oilers, they kind of hit a bump in the road there. Like, they just cannot get into the division. They're struggling to catch one of the top 3 spots in the Pacific.
Yeah, the Oilers and Flames, I think both of them right now, they're just playing very inconsistent hockey. And I think 2 weeks ago, I came on and said the same exact thing, and I said if one of them want to pull out and try to start leapfrogging teams in the division, they're going to have to start playing more consistent hockey, and they're just not doing that right now. So, I don't know. Could we say we could be a little concerned? I don't know. Oilers got Connor McDavid, 65 points.
He's literally insane. Every week, he's like a top 10 player in the league.
He's on pace for, 170 points? We'd never seen anything like that since, Wayne Gretzky. So, him and Draisaitl both lead the league in points, I believe.
He is literally almost 2 points per game.
This past week he was
insane.
averaging 2 points per game.
He's almost a minus. He's a +4.
That just shows you that the Oilers' defense is really weak, and their goaltending is just not giving it to them right now. So, I mean, I feel like we've always said this about the Edmonton Oilers, that they have their top few players, you could say McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, Evander Kane. Then outside of those guys, really, no one else really steps up for this team. So I don't know. I cannot see the Oilers ever being a Stanley Cup contender, knowing that they don't have the depth, the bottom 6 forward group, and the defense to propel them to that. So
last year they really did have a chance, but
nobody was beating the Colorado Avalanche.
No, but they didn't even lose a game in the first round. And Kraken Canucks has, just faced off here. So now let's see this counterattack. Never mind, they're on defense.
Quinn Hughes. He's having himself a good season.
Oh my God,
now.
Daniel and I at the Devils game, right? And I'm trying to be a smart aleck. That's the FCC guideline safe term I can use here. But I'm just being myself, and I'm looking at Jack Hughes. I'm like, yo, Daniel, is that Quinn's brother, dude? And this guy thinks I'm dead serious. Next to him, he goes, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Come on. I really want to be like, I'm not I'm not dead serious here, man. But he definitely was like, he definitely thought I was an idiot. He definitely just wanted to go. Like,
I said you should have said, "Is that Ellen Hughes' grandma's grandson?"
oh, it was too good to pass up. We probably laughed for a solid minute. We wanted to see Frank the Tank so bad, but things just didn't happen that way. He had better things to do, I guess, than hang out with us.
For real though, can you imagine being the Hughes parents? All three of your sons went in the top 10 of the NHL draft, and I mean, two of them captained Team USA. The other one made an All-Star game and is one of the top point-producing defensemen in the entire league. I mean, it's really unreal. Like there's been cases of twins that have dominated
the
leagues
Sedin
before.
twins.
Yeah, exactly.
The Stahl twins are playing right now together in
okay,
Florida.
Okay. Hold on.
Not the same
Listen,
though. Not the same though.
Eric Stahl's actually scored a goal these past couple of
He
games.
scored
but
He
against the
scored against the Devils. Yeah.
So it's not. Let's just see if this. Alex Wenberg, shout out Alex Wenberg, former Florida Panther, being a centerman on this Seattle Kraken first line, I believe, or second line. Solid player, but rolling back into things here. Connor McDavid on an island by himself with a team that can't win. Poor guy, but he's gonna win the Hart again, right?
Definitely.
He has to. I mean, if you take away Draisaitl, because most of his points are because of McDavid, the next closest to McDavid's 65 is Tage Thompson with 50. That's a 15-point gap that he established.
So there's a clear-cut number
in
one.
34 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we were talking about Jason Robertson for a little because
Nah.
he got hot, but I
Yeah.
mean, like you said, McDavid is on an island, a very remote island with no contact from the outside world.
I wonder what goes on in his head, like just knowing he is better than everybody else.
By far, too.
Can I bring a quick question to you
Yeah.
guys? I'm curious what you guys have to say. So we're talking about McDavid right now, and we compare them to generational talents like Crosby, Ovechkin. When we're talking about these generational talents, does it matter?
Oh,
to
hold
you?
up! Look at this Seattle Kraken 3-on-1, and they messed it
what
up.
a save!
All right, you keep going.
When we're talking about these generational talents, do you guys when we're talking about who's some of the greatest NHL players of all time? Do you guys incorporate how many Stanley Cups they won? Because I don't think Connor McDavid will ever win a cup. And I know that's bold to say, but right now, I don't see him ever winning a cup. And then we compare that to Crosby, who's won 3. So I don't know.
It's a team sport. It's fully a team sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like the NFL.
Of course, and even that's a team sport. I think everything's a team sport. I think you can never attribute championships to one guy. But of course they play a role, right? But you look at a guy tell me right now, there's so many bench warmers get rings. So many bench warmers get rings.
Yeah,
I thought there was a big chance.
In all sports, you see it. For baseball, Terrence Gore, who is literally
Terrence
literally
Gore!
just used for his speed,
Yeah.
and he has 3 rings. And there are guys who have 20-something year careers at an elite level and don't get a ring. I mean, that's just sports.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
just of rings. Let's say this. Let's say 2 players come down to everything, and it's almost a dead even tie. They have very even stats, solo accomplishments. Then that's the tiebreaker. How many championships you got? That's a solid tiebreaker. If you need something to break the tie, how many times have they lifted the cup?
Yeah.
I like that.
But McDavid is so good. He's won 2 Hearts, I believe, and he's definitely on his way to a 3rd. That get him some help or get him out of there.
I don't. I mean, there's quite literally nothing more he can physically do. I mean,
I don't know what you need more.
If you were to be a pro player on NHL on your PlayStation right now, I don't think you could put up the points McDavid is producing. It's quite literally video game numbers. It's laughable.
Yeah.
And he just does it so consistently, night in and night out. 3-4 point nights like it's nothing. This is the closest thing we will see to Wayne Gretzky in this generation.
And they're both Oilers legends already.
And you can argue that the game today is so much different than when Gretzky played. So it would be interesting to see how Gretzky would do in today's game. I mean, it's kind of like the Babe Ruth to modern day players. You can never fully know unless he was there.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at highlights of Gretzky, these goalies were like had no padding, and like they were standing 10 feet outside the crease, and they'd fall down whenever someone passed the puck cross crease. Like it's definitely a completely different playing environment. I mean, players are bigger, faster, stronger, have more technology with the sticks and everything. So it would be very interesting to see Gretzky in today's game. But what we can say for certain is that Connor McDavid is a force
to be reckoned with.
Definitely.
To be reckoned with. Yeah, he is that guy. Like, if you ever had to wonder who that guy is, he is that guy. 100%. So hopefully that Oilers team can get him some help, because he's been averaging 2 points a game for the whole season almost. Now, I've been watching this game at the same time. This Kraken team cannot clear the puck, and like or no, I'm wrong. The Canucks cannot clear the puck, and it's like the Kraken just can't score. They've had like chance after chance, and they can't put it in the back of the net. However, speaking of Vancouver, what's going on there? Like, when is this Bo Horvat trade coming?
I don't know. He's having some season right now. 22 goals, right? He's having some season. I know a bunch of teams are interested in him. I think we won't. I don't expect anything to happen until at least January, February, maybe near the deadline, if it were to happen. So we'll see. I think the Canucks are still hoping that they can get it together and possibly make it in a wild card spot. So we'll see.
I mean, they have a shot. I don't think it's a great
Definitely.
shot, but they are, as we speak, they are, I believe, 9 points out of a playoff spot, but 3 games in hand.
Which team? Vancouver?
So if they were to rattle off 3 in a row, they would be 3 points.
They got like 5 less wins than Seattle right now.
Yeah, they would be 3 points behind a spot with the same number of games as Edmonton. So they'd definitely be in it, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of dysfunction in that organization. Back to the Horvat trade, like you guys were saying. The problem is so many teams are reluctant to make trades because of the cap situations. I mean,
Literally. They all want to make a move and they can't. I read that.
Yeah, exactly. Like the cap, the cap floor, the cap ceiling is not reflective of the current economy and the contracts that players are asking for. And like you said, as a result, that they want to move, they want to make a move and they just can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's
kind of
like
rough.
It's not like baseball where you can go over the salary cap and just get taxed. Like in the NHL, like there is nothing, like you just can't do it. Like you're not allowed. So
poor yeah, it's like with the NFL, you can't go over either. I love it that way though. I really like how there's a hard cap on things, because then I just think it's fair. Oh, wow. That blue line goal.
That's
full-on blue line goal. From who is that?
That shows you the
Jared McCann?
That shows you the Vancouver Canucks problems. Goaltending, man. It has not been that good this season, and that was one of the weakest goals.
That shots are 5-0 now.
Let's just
It was behind the blue line.
That that's for Spencer Martin, man. That's bad.
Watching that was a dump in. That was literally a dump. Yeah. That was an Andrew Hammond.
That was a Hamburglar moment.
That was a Hamburglar moment.
Hey, shout out to Andrew Hammond, retired Devils legend. Devils legend.
Congrats to him. I mean, he'll get time to enjoy with his family. He had a great run for someone who went undrafted. With the Devils, it did not go so great.
Yeah.
But respect to him. He was able to put together a respectable career. Injuries plagued him, but he lived out a dream, and can always respect that. Wish him the best of luck in retirement.
Yep.
Now, moving on in this Pacific Division, the Calgary Flames just kind of muddle it around, not really getting too much done. The Sharks lost every game this week, and the Ducks actually won a couple games, but it's still not enough to move past. So we're just going to transition here because we've talked enough about the Pacific Division. Moving on, we got the Central. Boys, Dallas is still leading the charge. Unless the Jets were able to catch today. Well, let me check that real quick. Not sure if the Jets were able to catch. They were not able to catch. Dallas is in front by 1 point. Jason Robertson and the boys doing
They're good.
solid.
They're a good team.
They're a good hockey team. Very disciplined hockey team.
Now, honestly, Winnipeg has also been doing great, but the Minnesota Wild have won 6 straight games in a row,
They're dangerous.
right?
Six
And
game heater.
let's give credit to Kaprizov and Zuccarello. They went through a stretch of 4 games averaging 2 points per those games. They had like 8 points in 4 games. Like, unreal. Zuccarello had 5 goals in 4 games. Kaprizov had 6 assists. So, like, you saw where all that was going. That Wild team is on the come up again. I think they're going to make a huge run. Like, not a huge run in the playoffs, but, like, maybe a huge run in this regular season, gain some momentum. Because Kaprizov, man,
He's so good at hockey.
he's so good at hockey. Literally so good at hockey. Now, just, I feel like this division is top heavy with 4 teams because Colorado just cannot sneak in. These teams won't budge. Like, team like the Wild, because like Colorado's still, I mean, with McKinnon hurt, it's rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've been injury plagued, and they're still 7 games over 500, a third of the way through the season. So
They also won 3 in a row, so they're heating up. It looks
That's
like.
true. That's true. They have won 3 in a row. And another thing, underneath them, the Blues heating up again. The Jordan Bennington curse is over for now. For now. But I believe they've also won 3 in a row, and they've actually climbed up the Pacific a little bit themselves. They've been doing some solid work. They beat the Canucks. They beat the Flames, the Oilers. They did lose to the Kraken, however, a couple nights ago, so that's on them. But, props on them for getting it together.
I don't have the exact numbers, but for the Blues, I saw on NHL Network, it was like the tail of this season for them, and it's unreal. It was like they started off like 0-something, then they won like 7 in a row, then they went like 2-8.
Yeah, legitimately.
Then they won like 6 in a row, then they lost like 8 of 10, and now they're heating up. Like, it's been so
talk about ups and downs.
Yeah,
no constants at all.
Exactly. Like it's unreal how a team could be so dominant for a stretch and then so poor at everything right after that, and then go back to dominance. And like, I have never seen streakiness to this extent ever.
Can I say something about the Minnesota Wild? So I'm looking at their last 6 games, right? So it seems like goaltending and defense have really stepped it up here. First game, no goals. Second game, 1 goal, 2 goals, and 1 goal.
That's fantastic.
That they've given up.
That's
amazing.
That's
amazing defensive, and it's a combination of defense and goaltending. So that's been the key to their success as of late.
Okay, that was the sickest move, but then it was a turnover. That was a turnover. It was the sickest move by a defenseman I've seen, but he fell down afterwards. I gotta check which defenseman that was, but keep going on your point there.
Yeah, man. Freaking the Wild right now, defense and goaltending are really stepping it up here, and that is a key to their success right now.
They're going to keep moving on, and I feel like Nashville, they just kind of, the Blues just leapfrogged them. The Predators, they had their moment against the Devils, but then they go back, they lost like 6 in a row. After that Devils win, they beat the Islanders, and then they lost 6 straight games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to me like any John Hines-led team just is not cut out for success.
I mean, they did win their last 2, but one of them against the Blackhawks, so it doesn't count. And then the other one against the Oilers in overtime, so it's solid, but, like, they're 6th in the Central. They're not going to do much.
I just wanna say something. Like, the fact that the Central teams, the top 6 teams right now, they basically have 3 wins 4 times a season against the Arizona Coyotes and the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
The Blackhawks have lost 8 in a row, guys.
They're all.
What you doing?
7. Oh my.
Wins.
Free my man, Patty Kane. Free my man.
Yeah, he's gone at the deadline.
Free him.
He's gone at the deadline?
New York
Teams with cap
Rangers.
space.
New York Rangers. Patty
That
Kane.
wouldn't shock me, but that's scary. That is petrifying to me as a
Listen,
Devils
man.
fan.
And Arizona, they got a win. They got 1 win this past week.
Double digits.
Let's check. Yeah, they reached 10. It was against the Islanders, so, good for y'all Metropolitan boys. But then they go lose to Buffalo and Montreal. So, like, whatever. Like, just share ASU Stadium some more, don't you? How did that not go in? It's the Kraken way. They're dominating right now. The Canucks have 2 shots on goal in these first 10 minutes as this Kraken team is just wearing them down. But that's all we got for the Central here. We're going to hit the next division, the Metropolitan Division. Let me start this off by just saying that the Carolina Hurricanes, incredible, have won 7 straight games, 5 this week, and have leapfrogged the New Jersey Devils for first place in the Metropolitan. For that, that's my team of the week. The Wild were a contender, but no, I'm sorry. Looking it over, Canes won the night. They sealed the deal. Team of the week. They have been on a roll, and it's like, did you see they played a prank? Which player did they play the prank on the other night? It was his 100th game.
Oh,
and
Seth Jarvis.
Seth Jarvis, 100th game.
Yes.
They flipped the logo upside down on his jersey for the game.
Great.
That was a solid meme. Solid meme, Canes. But just regarding back to their play, there's 7 straight wins. Islanders win, quality. Red Wings win, they've fallen off, but quality. Kraken win, Stars win. These are all teams that are leading their divisions and in playoff spots. Penguins win, Devils win, another Penguins win. So this team has been getting quality win after quality win. They're here to contend in the Metro.
I mean, the last time I was on this show, I said the Canes scare me, and me and AJ were talking about it. He said that the Canes are just such a talented team. They're so professional. They play so structured and so fast that they have so much depth too that it would be very hard to see them not getting back into the Metro race, especially because most of their games were on the road, so that's why they start off a little slower than some would think, but they are a force. I mean, we've played 33 games. They have 6 regulation losses.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you expect the Devils to not be in first a couple weeks ago?
If you told me the Canes would have passed them, I would not have been shocked at all. But to happen this fast,
And like I'm saying, just 2 weeks ago,
exactly.
that'd be here.
no, not
No.
this fast. That just it really, like, you felt it slipping away since that losing streak started, and it happened way quicker than I thought, which is what happens when you lose 6 in a row and Carolina wins all 6 of those games. Things can turn
just
around
completely
fast.
flip-flop. So we're just going to get right into that. The New Jersey Devils
You really had
You
to say
guys
it, did you?
are now second in the Metro, and I know you're all in agreement. They lost how many games in a row?
6 game freezer.
And, you know, when we were at the Panthers, we went to the best game ever. You know what I'm saying? Panthers, Devils on a Saturday. The one game the Cats win this entire week. The game I go to. I'm just that guy, right? Like, we go to the game. The Panthers, they enjoy a nice 1-0 lead because I don't even remember who scored that first goal. I'm trying to backtrack. It was a power play goal. Reinhardt, right. And then Gustav Forsling, and then all the fans started booing. But then John Marino, AJ's favorite, got one. But then Reinhardt with a gorgeous tip. And the next thing you know, it's 3-1. And dude, Campbell's so mad. Because, listen, he gets into it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just making it worse by talking. I'm just making it worse by talking and cheering. Dude, I could have said stuff, but let's put it this way. I remember when they scored that first goal. And they're still down by 1. He's going crazy. I'm like, scoreboard in my head. In my head, I'm like, scoreboard. Yeah. And then Eric Holla got one, and then I got up.
Hey, wait. Repeat what you just said?
I don't even remember what it was.
Who scored?
Holla?
Yeah. The Devils may have lost that game, but I witnessed quite literally something that's as rare as like getting struck by lightning.
Eric Holla goal score.
Eric Holla finding the back of the net. I mean, wow, he has. I don't know if you're all advanced analytics people, but I don't even know if I fully invest in it, but according to the analytics, he should have about 11 goals on the season right now. He has 2.
And the thing, after that goal happened, there was 3 minutes left, and now I'm like, oh, man. Because the crowd is getting crazy. They pull the goalie, so it's like, please, someone get up. Yo, is that in? Nope, no goal for the Canucks. I'm just like, please, someone get a stick on the puck and just send it down. That had to have tipped in. No? Okay. So, I guess, Kraken goaltend. Oh, we're just seeing shot after shot on this goal from this Canucks offense finally getting it going. But, it's because they're on the power play. It doesn't count. Never mind. But, I'm just watching this game and I'm like, please, hold off. I want to be able to talk smack. Please, don't let this happen. And then, luckily, after a defensive breakdown, Denisenko gets control of the puck. I think it was Montour gets control of the puck. Denisenko, Verhaeghe puts it away. And then everybody left. Everybody left.
Yep. I mean, actually, while we're on the subject of that game, I know you're a Panthers fan, Connor.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that I feel bad that Barkov is out. I know Nico kind of got on his leg there on the face-off, but I just want to say...
I didn't watch. What happened? What did I miss?
Nico basically drove his stick into Barkov's leg, but it was like he was fighting for the puck, and from a Devils fan, I can, biases aside, I could tell you that was 100% not intentional. And after the game, Nico said in his postgame that he felt bad and wished Barkov the best, and it wasn't intentional at all. And the Panthers just kept taking run after run at Nico, and it almost got kind of sad to watch because the Devils didn't do much to stick up for him, which as a fan was infuriating.
We talking about yesterday or the day?
The Panthers game, right?
Both.
They were more physical yesterday.
They definitely did more last night, but still, I mean, they were just taking cheap shot after cheap shot at Nico. Even after the Devils scored the empty netter last night, Kachuk, I mean, he's just running. He's trying to assault Nico.
He was like an animal. The refs had to really drag him off him, and Nico's just and then Lindy ref was thinking about, let me send Nico out, and then they're like, no, you're not going back on the ice. You're staying on the bench because freaking the Panthers he was just a target. And but credit to Nico Hischier, he's a warrior.
He is.
He the way he handled that whole situation, amazing. I'm excited to see what happens in the rubber match. And the Devils just brought up Nikia Hotuk, a very physical guy. If you saw a little clip of him, he got into a fight with in the AHL, and he knocked this guy out with one punch. So, and he's probably gonna be our most physical D-man, maybe other than Brendan Smith. I don't know, but I'm excited for him to come up.
We definitely need that physicality, and I'm definitely excited for that aspect. But at the same time, we all know he's only getting called up because Ryan Graves is likely out for a long period of time, and that is a huge blow to our defense.
As of right now, hopefully we get Marino back soon as well.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Yeah.
So they just love Barkov that much, They just love him that much, like the second greatest player in that franchise history or something like that. So
again, but I mean, biases aside, I get. I mean, someone takes out one of your best players, intentional or not. I mean, you're gonna stick up for him, and I get that, and I respect the Panthers for that. But at the same time, I mean, there's a difference between sending a message and getting in his face versus just taking cheap shots at him over and over again. And that's what I felt the Panthers were doing. And since the Devils were kind of letting it just happen, I mean, the Devils themselves didn't do much to stop it. So if you're the Panthers, you're going to keep taking a run at a guy knowing that you can when there's no enforcer type there to stop you.
Yeah, we got Ryan Lomberg. so we got it's not. It used to be so different, man. They don't allow the fights like they used to.
Yeah.
When I started watching, they did. I started watching in 2015. They still allowed full-on fights. Y'all remember Sean Thornton?
Yeah.
Yep.
He was on the Panthers. This guy would fight all the time, all the time. And now they don't have a guy like that. There's no one that Lomberg is that. Typically enforcers are the third line defenseman, if I'm wrong, or is it the fourth line forwards that they stick those guys on?
Both. It really depends. But.
See, Florida's defense is so bad they can't afford to use it for enforcer, so they stick. That's what they did with Lomberg. They stuck him as the enforcer last year, and he actually scored a game-winning playoff goal in 2022, which was 2021, which was crazy to me.
Playoffs have crazy things. I mean, Brendan Smith scored a shorthanded goal against the Rangers in the playoffs, which if you've watched him play as a Devil, that's just hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, man, I gave that guy a handshake and he gave me an interview, so I'm not about to slander the only NHL player I've ever talked to.
Yeah. But looking at back to the Devils and stuff like that, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
I'm scared right now because I'm not looking at the Devils and thinking, okay, I'm worried about them. I'm looking at the teams around them. right now. So we got 4 teams in the Metro that, while the Devils were really cold, other teams were getting really hot. So Hurricanes in their last 10 games, 9-0-1. Penguins in their last 10 games, 8-1-1. Rangers in their last 10, 8-2. And Washington Capitals in their last 10, 8-2. So I'm scared right now.
That's exactly why the Devils picked the worst possible time to go on a 6-game losing streak, because none of those teams lost unless they played each other. That was the only way one of them lost, and if they did, it probably went to overtime and they got a point out of it.
It happens every time.
So it's extremely frustrating, but like they say, at the end of the season, I mean, the standings are indicative of where you deserve to be, and right now it's not a first-place team. I wasn't expecting them to finish in first when the year started. I was saying from the beginning I would just like them to get into the playoffs, but it would be nice if we start winning some games and having a little bit of a cushion as opposed to this just, like, because it already feels like it's slipping away. And for how we started, I mean, we were called a wagon by essentially every outlet.
Yeah.
NHL Network was grading things by a small step forward, a big step forward, or a New Jersey step forward. And now here we are, and we're not even in first place
Took a New Jersey
anymore.
step back.
Yeah.
We did take a New Jersey step back for sure.
Looking at the next 2 games, I think it's really indicative. Is that the right? Yeah.
For sure.
And how we can look at this team, because the Devils host the Boston Bruins on the 23rd and the 28th in back-to-back games. So I want to see the Devils win one of these games, you know.
They absolutely have to win at least one of them, and if we could somehow take 3 of 4,
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing, because we got Pittsburgh right after that too.
It doesn't get much easier after. I think we have the third
And
hardest.
Carolina.
We have the third hardest schedule remaining in the NHL.
Yep. But I mean, it's gonna show where we belong. We need to put, like, even if it's not a winning streak, like, we need one of those stretches where we go like 8-1-1, or even a bigger stretch. Like, if we could go like 10-3-2 over a stretch, and like, I don't know. It's gonna be tough, and because there's so many teams that are stacked close together. I mean, the number 1 through 6 in the Metro is separated by 10 points. So any team could spring to any point in essentially a week of games if they're hot and the other team goes cold. So we need to be winning games, because any game we lose, there's going to be some team near us that is getting points that night.
Yeah.
So there's no time, there's no position to slack. I mean, thankfully we had such a great start that a 6-game losing streak didn't like propel us out of a playoff spot. I mean, we're still, I believe, an 8-point lead in a playoff spot, 6 points. Yeah. So that helps, and 2 games in hand. So thankfully, like I said, our start was so great that it didn't completely propel us out of the playoff race. But with that being said, the ship needs to start getting righted now. And if we were to keep losing, I wouldn't be surprised, and it's very premature to say this, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Devils fired Ruff and went to Andrew Brunette, because...
Bruno! Bruno! Listen, that is a President's Trophy winning head coach.
That is true.
That's because he had the most loaded offense ever, not because he's a great head coach.
I'm telling you, if the Devils lose both games against Boston, Canucks
okay.
just scored.
Okay, that was...
What a goal.
A great pass and a great set play. That completely just ruined the momentum of whatever conversation Jimmy had there, because that was just a great... There's no better, like, pass and shot there.
Yeah.
How did you... The only way you can defend that is if you, like, poke check the puck out of the way. Honestly, could have done that.
Just poke check, always.
That high key would have worked. Look, there's the pass. If you just go out there, you can grab that. Why not?
Was that Pedersen to Peterson for the goal?
Nah. Let's see here. Pedersen to... Wait, you're right. Yeah, Pedersen to Peterson.
So, Pedersen to Peterson for a Canucks goal, and to make things a little better, there's another Elias Pedersen on the Canucks who's a prospect who's playing in World Juniors. So, once he makes the team, you could have...
A Pedersen line.
you could have Pedersen, Peterson, and Pedersen all on the ice together.
What a goal. And what were we even talking about? Hold on.
How scary
scary
fast the Devils
Right.
I can't even say lead in the Metro, but position in the Metro is slipping.
So for the New Jersey Devils and losing top spot of the Metro so fast, having a 6-game losing streak, but beating the Florida Panthers, bad team of the week. It's fitting. It's just fitting.
It's deserved. I mean,
Yes.
when you win 1 of 7 games. I mean, it's there's no words. I mean, it was a tough stretch.
Yeah, even though the Canucks, I mean not the Canucks, the Blackhawks have lost 8 in a row.
Yeah,
They're not even
that
like,
was the
they're
contention.
They're not even like worthy to be in.
Yeah,
like, the
exactly.
worst.
Like that's expected of the Blackhawks.
Exactly.
But for a team like the Devils, who was I think 21 4-1, and now they're 22 9-2. So like they went from being absolute wagon of a record to not even being in first place anymore.
It's crazy how things work. And now moving on down there, look at the Penguins, you know what I'm saying? Or even the Rangers. Like of all those teams, the Islanders are the one that goes cold. The Rangers leapfrog the Islanders for now 4th in the Metro. Islanders go down to 5. So just for that, the Rangers had the way better week. They get the bing bong of the week.
Bing bong.
That's for the Rangers out there. And they actually had the 3rd place lead over Pittsburgh for like a few minutes. But the Pittsburgh-Carolina game finished in overtime, so the Penguins ended up getting a point, which propelled them back into number 3 in the Metropolitan. But that's up for grabs. It's literally like they have tied points.
Yeah.
I owe an apology to AJ. I thought the Penguins' run was over. I mean, I thought they were similar to the Caps, I guess. I thought they were all washed, like their window was closed, that was it. Like I didn't even think they'd be competitive this year. And man, did they put it together and find a way to get right in the thick of things. I mean, they're only 3 points behind the Devils. I think there was like a 15, 16 point gap between the two at once. So I mean, I got to be honest. I was sleeping on the Penguins, and the Penguins proved me completely wrong. So respect to them as a hockey team for putting it together and just going on a phenomenal run.
Yeah.
This month, they've lost to only one team twice, the Carolina Hurricanes. They're kryptonite, but they beat every other team. They beat the Rangers, beat the Panthers, Stars, a couple Sabres wins, couple Johnny Hockey and the Blue Jackets wins, and the Blues and the Golden Knights. So quality wins and also some wins that were expected. Now this Rangers team.
Can I just intervene?
Yeah, go right
real
ahead.
Quick? We always got to clown Johnny Hockey on this show. The
You gonna hit that
lost
again?
The Devils lost 6 in a row,
And they've
still
lost
have,
5 in a row, right? The Blue Jackets, I think, have 5
Yeah,
losses right now
but
in a row.
The Devils lost 6 in a row and still have 24 more points in the standings than Columbus, and we're only 33 games in, and that's with a 6-game losing streak for the Devils.
Yep.
So, Mr. Winning Hockey Team Johnny Gaudreau, hope you're enjoying yourself.
Boys, I have one question here. You know, it's 10:42 now. We still gonna watch Kraken Canucks, or you guys feeling Wild Sharks or Flames Kings? You know, what are we feeling here? Unless we could keep this on, it's an intermission though. So like,
I don't want to see some Rangers commercial. Get rid of this.
Yeah,
The Flames.
Get it off.
All right, Flames Kings or
Yeah.
Wild Sharks?
Flames
Get it off. I don't want to
Kings,
see
because
Jacob Trouba staring me down.
Flames Kings for sure, because the Wild Sharks, that's going to end up like 5-0.
It's 1-1 right now.
Ooh.
Calgary, LA is 1-0. That goal just happened.
Timo Meyer, future New Jersey Devil, by
Yes. Our Swiss King to be paired with our other Swiss King.
the way. Yes,
I am
sir.
very down for that. Timo Meyer, you are a New Jersey Devil.
Very soon.
You are a devil. So
that would fill such a glaringly large hole in our offense.
100%.
Kings broadcast, how we're rolling here. So let's just move on. This Rangers team, though, Vincent Trocheck, Panther legend right there. He had a stretch of like 7 points in 4 games, so he's been going crazy.
You know why he went off, right?
No.
Because when they arrived in Pittsburgh, his grandma lives there, Italian. He invited the whole team over to grandma's house for Sunday pasta dinner. Whole entire team. She cooked for the entire Rangers squad.
That's actually sick.
And then they went out, and actually they lost that game. But, but I mean, he had the power of grandma's Sunday sauce, so Of course he's going to go off.
That's the Instagram post right there. 100%. That is the Instagram post. The Rangers losing their only game to the Penguins. As you said, they only lost to each other.
That's how it's been in the Metro.
And who'd they win on that 7-game winning streak? They beat the Blues, the Knights, the Avs, 3 quality teams, the Devils, the Leafs, and then the Flyers and the Blackhawks. But like that was it was literally 7-1 and 6-3. Like, and then they just beat the Islanders today. So like they're on a roll. We need to get Alex or Johnny. We need to get John Giftopoulos on this show, man. He needs to get here.
Just to add on to this, I'm looking at the Rangers right now. It looks like the kids are finally starting to step up for them a little bit. Capocacco has 5 points in his last 5 games. Alexis Lafreniere looks like he has 3 points in his last 4 games. So it looks like the kids are finally starting to step it up. You know, both of them were top 2 picks in the draft. So the Rangers are really hoping for those kids to step up for them because Mika and Panarin and Kreider can't do it all. So.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
just look at the Devils. I mean, how long it took for Brat, Nico, and Jack to be playing at an elite pace. I mean, for Brat, it took about 5 years. For Nico, it took about 5 years. For Jack, it took 3. I mean, it's not something that happens overnight. The NHL is the best league in the world for a reason. Trial and error. It's not going to be easy. The physicality in the league is a lot to adjust to, especially when you're playing against teenagers like Lafreniere was. But when you're that talented, you'll find a way, and that's what they're doing right now. So, respect, props to them.
Dude, watching Huberto on the screen right now hurts. Like, that actually is such pain.
Yeah.
This is gross, man.
That's that same feeling I had in my stomach when the Devils traded Taylor Hall. I mean, when it's someone who's that valuable.
Dude,
to
he
a
was there since I was
franchise.
12 years old. I was 12 when I started watching, and he was there. He had been there since I was like 10.
Well, if we're gonna talk about feeling old now, can we talk about Jaromir Jagr?
Okay, he's like 50 and still
50.
playing. I remember when he was on the Panthers,
What a
and we were like,
guy.
"Oh yeah, he's just this old guy." That was 7 years ago.
Jaromir Jagr played his first professional hockey game in 1986.
Wow.
1986 was the first time he played professionally in the Czech League. He is still playing professionally. I don't know of any players who even played in like the late 90s that are still playing hockey.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
this
so.
guy-
Yeah.
One of the
1986, like literally the ageless wonder. I mean, he's
Yeah.
what, 50 now?
50
years old. And he had, I believe, 2 assists in the game.
Didn't Chris Chelios get pretty close to 50 as well? I think.
Believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really just, I mean, in any sports, if you make it to like 35, like that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this guy is quite literally half a century of age. And he
Oh.
is still playing professional hockey and able to do it at
He's
a
been
good
playing
enough
hockey
level
for
where,
what, 36 years?
yeah, where
Yeah.
he could produce points. I mean, just
He started when he was 14.
He's never gonna stop.
He started when he was 14 years old. There's no way.
I can pull up the elite prospects.
14. Well, while you're doing that, I mean, the Capitals are hot, and the Flyers, they won 2 games, but they're still like have only
Yeah,
11 wins.
Well, Mr. Tortorella decided to bench his team's leading scorer.
Yeah. I don't get that.
The
I mean-
2 wins were against the Devils and the Blue Jackets.
I mean, I'll give the Flyers credit. I feel like they're a team that could win any night. They just don't win often, you know. They're
Oh, nah.
they're a competitive hockey team. I'd say
Their
that.
3 wins this month were Blue Jackets,
They beat the Avs.
and Devils. So yeah.
Yeah, Yager. I have Yager pulled up. So he played in the U18 Czechoslovakia League in 1984. Then he made his professional debut in 1988 at the top Czech League.
Wow.
And that is the same league he is playing in now in almost 2023. He has 3 points in 3 games for them. He's on a point per game pace professionally as a 50-year-old. The same team he played on in the 1988 season, where he had 6 points in 29 games, and now he has
Wow.
3 points in 3 games.
That's pretty.
I mean-
that's wild. He's getting better with age.
He's gonna be 70 and putting up what He'll be back in the NHL when he's 70.
Yeah, definitely.
Got y'all some Zuccarello Kaprizov action here with the Wild and Sharks tied up at 1. But let's keep it rolling now to the final division on our roster here, the Atlantic Division. Will Boston lose the top?
No, they need to chill out. You know, they don't lose hockey games.
No, they don't.
Whenever I check the scores, I'm like, oh, hopefully Boston won. Boston lost. Every single time they win.
Guess which team was the one team to beat them since last episode? Take a guess. It's a Western team.
Was it Vegas?
No.
Vegas did beat them though.
Yeah, that was probably like...
Arizona, right?
No, that is one of them, but that was before last episode. What?
Yeah, that was a game.
It was the Kings.
LA.
The Kings in a shootout, yeah. But this team just
does
not lose
even
games.
when they lose, they get a point, so like...
They put up a touchdown on the Panthers, a full touchdown, with the extra point and everything.
32 games, 4 regulation losses.
Plus 55 point differential.
That's
oh my God.
Literally, wow.
We all just said wow at the same time.
And the Blue Jackets have minus 43.
It hurts a little to see Pavel Zacha thriving. I mean, he was
doing
such
okay.
He was such a failure of an experiment with the Devils. I mean, we tried.
We
tried.
We can always cherish that COVID season that we had with him. That's all we have really with him.
Well, the COVID season was a mess in of itself. It made Yanni Kuokkanen look like he was an elite playmaker, and now he's playing in Switzerland. He's not even in the NHL anymore.
Yeah.
Now, Toronto, they had been going great, and this week they continued going great. Even though they lost to the Rangers and Caps, they beat the Lightning, and they beat the Flyers, whatever that means. So they've cooled down, and I think they're going to get caught by the Lightning for that Atlantic position lead. The Tampa Bay Lightning, Brandon Hagel and Nikita Kucherov right now. Kucherov had 8 points in 3 games. Hagel had 7 points in 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
This Lightning team is getting back to top-tip shape. Form, whatever you want to say. Even though they lost a crucial game to the Leafs and they got a touchdown scored on them by the Red Wings, before that they had won 5 straight games, destroying the Preds, Panthers, put up a touchdown on the Kraken, destroyed the Habs, destroyed the Blue Jackets. So they're coming right back into form here, and those are the top 3 teams in the Atlantic, and it is going to stay that way because the Detroit Red Wings, they fell off so hard. Fell off incredibly hard. They have only won a game. I think legitimately a game. They lost 6 straight.
Wow.
Before beating the Lightning. Then they beat the Lightning. Like, what is the NHL? They lose 6 straight games, with the Senators being one of them. But then they beat the Lightning 7-4. So, like, whatever that means. Whatever that means. The Buffalo Sabres.
Ooh, they're hot right now.
So they've won 3 straight games.
4 now.
4 now. But let's put 4 straight games. But another thing, they've jumped 3 full spots in the Atlantic Division in 1 week. They were at the bottom of the division last week. Now they're in 5th. And Tage Thompson scored 8 points in 3 games. He is like right now playing the best out of any player, honestly, this past 2 weeks.
I was one of the people who clowned that contract. I didn't see it. I thought he was a 1-year wonder. I mean, his path to success is not that of most current NHL players. I mean, he was basically a nobody. He playing in the AHL, barely producing, and I mean, I've never seen a path to success like his, and when they gave him that contract, I was like, no way. Like, they are going to be regretting that so heavily, and it actually might end up being one of the biggest steals ever. I mean, he is unreal. I mean, Devils fans talk about Jack Hughes. Tage Thompson is putting up way more points than Jack Hughes is, and we see how special Jack Hughes is, so
Great save there.
I'm really speechless when it comes to Tage Thompson because he really just.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
For the Sabres team, I said Blues. I said Blues.
Exploded out of nowhere.
Not even just him, but Craig Anderson turning back the clock. He in a 2-game stretch allowed only 2 goals, 69 of 71. Nice. Like, that is just like 97 save percentage in those 2 games. And he's what, 75? like turn back the absolute
He's
clock.
up there.
And for the Sabres to move up 3 spots, everyone else in the division had to shift down. And that's where the beautiful Florida Panthers sit right now at 6th in the Atlantic Division, because after beating the Blue Jackets 4-0, they lose to the Pens last week. They beat the Devils, right, which was cool. Then they let the Bruins score a touchdown on them. It was 7-3, straight up football score. And then after that, the Devils beat them 4-2. Because we don't know how to score the puck, and we don't know how to get goal. They don't know how to.
You got Mackenzie Blackwood.
They don't know how to hockey. They don't know how to hockey like last year, and
That's another trip.
listen, Sam Reinhart. I'm sorry, but man, you've been so good. 2-goal masterclass against the Devils when we were all there to watch it happen. He had been averaging. He had like 6 points in 3 games, 4 goals in 3 games. So shout out to Reinhart, but man, why can't like more than one player on the team be good at one time? I don't understand what the deal is. Under them, the Canadians and the Senators, like Montreal struggling, Ottawa struggling, even though Alex DeBrincat's been playing great hockey, Other than that, they're just like
They're both mid.
They're teams? Absolutely.
Yeah.
All the teams down there are mid. What are you talking about? Hey, they re-signed Artem Zub though.
Yeah,
They gave him a 4-year,
$5 million a year.
4-year, $4.6 million a year.
That's a good deal. Look, they're gonna look at that deal 2 years from now. And they're gonna be like, "Damn, we stole that deal." I think.
Earlier today, also, Jalen Chatfield scored his first goal for the Canes.
Yeah,
Just so you guys know that.
good for him.
The more you know, and Ovechkin, I believe he had 6 shots tonight, so he passed Raymond Bjork for the most shots on goal in NHL history.
Wow.
Wow.
Which, I mean, to be fair, it's not like the most goals. It's the most shots on goal. So like it's like a half goal. It's like an effort stat. It's an effort stat. You know what I'm saying?
He'll get to the goal mark very soon.
You think he's gonna get it?
Yeah, he just got to 800 a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get there 100%.
Also, Mikhail Sergachev was fined $5,000 for slashing Michael Bunting.
Yeah, he has a little bit of an edge to his game. Us Devils fans know in the 2018 playoffs he speared Nico Hischier in an area that is not fun to get speared in.
Yeah.
Listen, it happens, man. It's the National Hockey League. It's like legal fighting. You can legally beat somebody up and not get thrown in jail. Literally.
Yeah.
It's like, and they play it like every 2 days. Every 2 days they go out and beat each other up on the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're Mason Geertsen, you do it every night.
Boys, we are winding down here. Any last thoughts you guys have? Any spiels you have for the crowd here on breaking the ice?
Well, I kicked things off this show by talking about World Juniors, and then we were talking about Jaromir Jagr, so I just want to throw one last tidbit in there.
We need it. We need it.
Jagr played in the 1989 World Junior Championships. If Luke Hughes were to have a career...
Okay, Sharks goal, by the way. Sharks goal. But yeah, keep going.
If Luke Hughes were to have a professional hockey career as long as Jaromir Jagr's, Luke Hughes would still be playing hockey in the year 2056. I mean...
How old would we be? I'd be 54.
I would be 53.
I'd be 54. Look at this goal right here. He doesn't even know he's there. He doesn't even know he's there. How was that not, like, gloved? How did that end up over there?
If you're a goaltender, tend the goal.
Yeah. Who is the wild goaltender in this picture right here? Who is that?
It looks like Hudobin.
That is actually Gustafsson. That is Philip Gustafsson. And the goal was credited to, let's see who scored that. Yeah, Noah Gregor. He was wide open.
Eric Carlson, primary assist. Are we shocked?
Dude, he scored the other goal at the beginning of the game 44 seconds in.
I just want to... We got 30 seconds left. Do you guys think Eric Carlson's going to be traded?
We got more than 30 seconds. You just keep going.
All right. Do you guys... Oh. do you guys think Eric Carlson's going to be traded at the deadline?
Isn't he going crazy right now?
Yeah,
He's going crazy.
And for a team that has, 10 wins?
I mean, his value's at his highest by far. I mean, if you're San Jose, trade him, and I think a team's going to overpay because the need for an offensive defenseman at the trade deadline is going to be glaringly large.
100% agreed.
All right, boys. We're going to wrap up here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This has been Breaking the Ice. Boys, last words.
Let's go Devils, please.
Let's go Devils.
Please
Beat
beat Boston. Beat Boston.
Beat
Yeah.
Boston.
My last words, Panthers, figure something out. Just sneak in as a wild card because I know they're not making it in the Atlantic. But you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Have a great night, everybody.
See you.
Peace.